So we're going to start on a butterfly guard. Both of our toes tucked under and staying warm. Our shins are able to push, our toes are able to pull. This is what we're looking for. We're going to look for X guards. So there's different ways we can cross. The first one, I'm going to cross my inside foot on top. So I want to have my inside foot comes across on top and to the out like that, contouring the butt. So I can work at different heights, different distances, different closenesses. The shin ramp that stays can push to keep a little bit of pressure. I can pull to stretch them out, and this makes this easier to rotate in. Wherever normally there's going to be some kind of pressure between your knee and the arm, this becomes like a point of rotation, like a pivot point. And I just wedge this in here. Now I want to have active toes. My toes are pulling, and normally what I'm going to look for is I'm going to look for an arm drag. I'm going to pull that arm across so I can fundamentally load him onto that top shin. And that's it. And so I want to just practice taking my time. From this position, I'm going to twirl him like a pizza. There's nothing he can do to control that leg. It's my responsibility to catch it, and I'm going to catch it here. Normally going to either figure four the leg, or my preference is to crisscross the ankles, tighten it very, 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 very much, and then bend the heels back without sacrificing the squeeze. So the big mistake people make is they get tight, and then when they bend, they flare open. So it should be tight, and then as I bend, it should get tighter. I have that cuffed, so that gives me the elongation, and the other side grabs the heel to fundamentally get a heel hook, pulling across my throat like a happy face, like that. That's what you call that, a happy face? Isn't that what that means when people do this to you? Are you happy? I think so. So I'm going to be in that position. So again, you could start right away on the arm drag and then feed this in, however you want. You'll work on your own rhythm, but I want to see that I can lift him here quite strongly. I could also, come back one sec, I could also control him longer and control the head so he's fully up on my legs, and then I pull him over. So I get tighten, bend, and there's your extension. One last time. So your fundamental X guard sweep, you're in that position, you push away, you get on top, load him onto your ramp, spin him, catch it, lock it, and then we get a crank. That's it. Lots of reps. Switch every time. I'll get you over here. So you're going to come back to that other move soon. We're going to isolate the following from the same position. So we're dragging that arm, we're trying to do work, right? So if I can't get this over, it can be hard to lift and turn, right? So sometimes people will feel that, and they'll square this out in like a gorilla stance, and you're trying to get it, and it's not working as well. So all I need to do for this is I need to get my knee through. So even if he holds on tight here, I could still sometimes lift and get enough of a spin, but this arm blocks my acquisition of the leg. So what I'm going to do now is this. I'm going to keep my shin ramp, I'm going to hold on firmly to this, and my other side is going to push that head, and I'm just going to spin it right here. So normally, there's different ways. Some guys will go for like a variation of the Jujigatami. It'll lock before he lands. I like to usually do a bent arm wrap and rend the medial ligaments here. All right, so it's a variation of an Armenian arm lock. All right, so I'm in that. You can put the knee down. So let's say we're working tight. I see that it's going to be hard to pass the arm. I'm trying to stuff it. It's not going. So from that position, I'm going to snare it nice and tight. My other hand is going to drive my head onto the other side. I'm pulling his head over, and then I come right there. So as he pulls over, if it's bent, you got to be super cautious, because this bone will hitchhike through, and that's it. If you can't get that or you're having difficulty, slide it back, get the thumb up, and you've got a nice wedge Jujigatami. One more time. So same position, inside leg pushes to out, and then you're right in position. Make sense? So we'll try that out. But one of the questions we had was, what if the guy has you in a strong nape and you're having trouble getting that arm drag, right? So you could, in the case of not being able to get the arm drag, you could just go to that second technique. You could put your wedge in off the push. That ramp now lets you lift a little bit, you fake it, and then from here you could just go to your armbar right away, right? You're going to get it. But if you wanted to kind of force a round block into a square hole, and you wanted to get the helicopter for the leg, the easiest way to do it is to squeeze your ear to your shoulder to make that whole complex here quite rigid, and I get underneath and I make him resist a little bit. I get this into position, and then all I'm doing is I'm popping that up. My head is slipping like a happy face. I'm trying to slip out here basically, but he's going to be tight. And my other hand, normally I'm going to push or maul the face, and I just slip that off and over the top. And then that lets me get to this position anyway. Because it's very hard to shrug it down between your bodies. There's no space. So you got to do something to take it off to get that corner. So over the top is easier. Now, what we'd like to do, so we have two good variations going on top. Now what we're going to do is we're going to make a little bit of space. We're having trouble getting the drag, but now we're going to push a little higher, and we're going to slip underneath. So when we slipped on top, we pushed all of him. Let's say my right leg comes across, we pushed all of him to my right, and we leaned towards the left. Now, because my same leg is going under, I'm going to push all of him to the left, and I'm going to lean to the right. It's the opposite. So it's good sometimes to do it mnemonically as like a mantra. So I say if my right leg was going on top and across to the outside, I'm pulling him to the right, and I'm lifting up that leg to the left. But now we're going under. So if you use the same leg to thread, now you're going under. Now I'm going to pull him to my left, and I'm going to pull me to the right. And that's the same thing. So however you want to flip them. Like a pizza, I can pop the top, and I'm going to take that leg. Lots of ways we can get it from here. So sometimes the guy's going to land just in this kind of a configuration, and I can just go to a figure 4 sangaku here and come up for it's a squeeze lock on the knee. Right, my leg's inside. Some guys will land too far away, or they'll immediately try to pull, and even if I get it on the low calf, there's a really bad shin break or an Achilles lock right here. So you just have to keep it tight so they can't get out. Other times, let me see that for a sec. Other times when I thread out in this position, I will keep it, and my figure 4 will now get me into an Achilles or an ankle lock. So it's up to you. In this case, you see I have his leg. I can figure 4 on the inside of his body. If it's not working, I can figure 4 on the outside of his body. It's really a question of preference. There's different setups for each. I favor the heel hook in that position. Some people do like to get the Achilles. That's fine. You could do a toe lock, but heel hook is a lot stronger. The only time I'm going to favor the toe lock is if for some reason I mess up the roll and I end up getting the other leg, the leg that's not neutralized by my legs free. In these cases, sometimes I'll work like a gotch toe lock or something else. But normally I'm looking, my preference is to get the triangle, hide my feet, control his legs, and go to the hook. If he rolled, or if he was in any way on top of me like this, the same position, I can go and I can pull it across just like before, and now I can start to work that like a knee bar. So, forward your body again. So same position. All you got to think now is I'm pushing and I'm threading underneath. I'm pulling him to my outside, and I'm controlling that leg. I figure 4 it right away so he doesn't get out. Thread it to the outside if I wish. If I'm more over, I can thread it to the end. Doesn't matter. That make sense?
Yes, sir.
See one time? Okay. So again, exit underneath. Pull him to the outside of the X. Lean here. That's all I want. Then I grip it. So again, I can do knee. This is fantastic for me. It's an inverted heel hook. Right? He cannot really do much if I have it. He's going to try to pull, he's going to roll, he's going to try to kick. I can shred it. If I want to eliminate the other leg, I can keep the triangle, or I can trap it. It's really little consequence. Makes sense? So if you do it mnemonically, you just think about it. You say, okay, I'm going to thread under. I'm going to throw him to the outside, and I'm going to lean on the inside. Boom. Whatever you wish. You're going to have configuration. Yep. Try it out. Okay.